Right, so something different. I'm going to be looking at this phone just because I've got notes on it, but I'm going to tell you my predicted Premier League table. So we'll go from 20th to 1st. So 20th, Burnley. I don't think Scott Park is a very good manager, to be honest, and I don't think I think Poirier is going to be a good signing. Bashir Humphreys is good. Poirier's going to be alright. I don't think he'll set the world alight. He might get 5 or 6 goals, but I just don't see them doing any good, to be honest. 19th, I predict Brentford. They've lost their captain in Vitali and out. They've lost their manager in Thomas Frank. They've lost Brian Mbeumo. I think they've just lost too much to stay in the top flight, to be honest. So that's it. 18th might be controversial, but I think I think Leeds. I think Daniel Farke's probably not best suited to the Premier League, as he's proven with Norwich twice, and I don't think he's gotten a team promoted since, aside from obviously Leeds. In 17th, I think Sunderland. I think they're going to miss Jobe Bellingham, but they signed Adingra, Xhaka. I think they've some very good signings, and they're just going to pull them through. And Mark Gue as well. Yeah, so I think they're just going to be able to survive. Everton 16th. I think they're going to struggle with. I can't remember what it's called, but it was their new stadium to get a home advantage. I know that happened with West Ham when they moved from Upton Park to the London Stadium, so I think it'll be a similar thing there. But I don't think there's any chance they'll get relegated. In 15th, I've got West Ham, because when Kudus has gone to Tottenham, I think they're going to miss him very sorely. I still feel like Lucas Paqueta, he could leave still, I think. So they're going to struggle, but I think Callum Wilson's a very clever signing from them. In 14th, I think Bournemouth. I know they had a really good season last year, but they've lost practically their entire defence, and yeah, I think even with the players they brought in, they're going to struggle to adapt to the Premier League, because they've lost Kepa, they've lost Kirkez, they've lost to Burnley, they've lost Huijsen. I think Petrovic will be good, but it's not going to be good enough to get them top 10. 13th, now this one might be controversial, especially seeing all the pundits' predictions, but I think it's going to be Spurs. I don't think Thomas Frank's a good enough manager to improve them that much. I know I said him leaving Brentford is going to be damaging, but Brentford would only have finished 13th anyway, so yeah, they've also lost Son, so that's going to hurt them. They signed Kudus, who I think will be good, and they signed Savinio, but I don't think they'll be good enough to get them back into the top 10. I'm so confident about that. I've already said I'll get a buzz cut if they finish in the top 10. 12th, I think it'll be Wolves. They've lost Cunha, but I can't remember the signings off the top of my head, but they made some decent ones. So yeah, and yeah, their managers, I think he's very good. So he's gonna take. I can't remember where they finished last season. It was, I want to say 14th or something like that. They're gonna improve on last season. Fulham, I think Marco Silva's a decent manager. I think they're going to finish 11th. So yeah, they've not really signed anyone, not really sold anyone. They're just going to continue steadily, I think. In 10th, I think Brighton, because they've lost a few good players. They've lost Adingra to Sunderland, which surprised me, to be honest. I thought they'd try and hold on to him more, but yeah. I think Buscaglia at centre back, that's a good signing. But yeah, I don't think they'll push for Europe this season. In 9th place, I've got Crystal Palace. I think the FA Cup and now the what was it called? the Community Shield's confidence they've got from winning those will push their teams higher. But this is as long as they keep hold of Gahey and Eze. I think that's, if they can keep hold of them, they'll have a very good season. In 8th, I've got Man United. They've made a few good offensive signings in Cunha, Sheshko, and who's the other one? I can't remember. But yeah, I despite them finishing 15th last season, I do think Amorim's a good manager. He's just not had a team to build, so I think that's what he needed. But I don't think he'll get them into Europe without a cup win. So it will be a big improvement upon last season, though. In 7th, I think Forest, they've lost Langer, but I think with Hudson-Odoi, Jota, Chris Wood and Awoniyi, I think they'll miss him, but I don't think they'll miss him that much. So I think they'll keep pushing for Europe. In 6th place, I think Newcastle, they struggled to get some signings in. Isak doesn't want to be there. I think Elanga will do well, but it's not going to get them back into the Champions League, so I think they'll finish 6th again. Aston Villa, I mean, Unai Emery's class, so he's going to get them another good season, and depending on how well English teams do in Europe, they'll probably miss out on the Champions League, but they'll get close. Now, this one might be controversial as well, but in 4th, I've got City. I think they're going to struggle to adapt without De Bruyne, because they've had him the last 10 seasons. I know with injuries they've still done all right, but he's been a prominent figure in the dressing room as well, and now that's just gone. So I think they're going to struggle without him. I think Cherki's a good signing. Who else did they sign? Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but yeah, I don't. They'll get into the Champions League comfortably, they always do, but they're not gonna get much higher than that. In 3rd, I think Chelsea. They've got good momentum from the Conference League, Club World Cup. They beat Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan comfortably in pre-season, which was only a week ago at this point. And I think Joao Pedro. We've got too many players. That's the only thing. But yeah, I'm Chelsea fan, so yeah, I think he's going to be a good signing. I think Jamie Gittins is going to be electric on the wing. Esteval's looking good already, so I think we're going to have a good season. 2nd, I think Arsenal. They always do, don't they? But I think Gyökeres, good signing. I think players they've sold, they're not really going to miss too much. Like, I think Tomiyasu went, but he wasn't really a big player for them anyway, so I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I think Madueke is actually going to do quite well. Last year I tipped him and Palmer to get 80 goal contributions between them in all competitions, which I wasn't close. I thought Palmer would have as good a season as he did the season before, and Madueke would kick onto those same levels, but clearly not. But he still did all right. I was surprised we sold him, but bringing in how many wingers we have, and we want Garnacho and Xavi Simons as well, I can see why we have. And of course that leaves Liverpool first. I think Wirtz, Ekitike, Frimpong, all the rest, they're going to be good signings. I feel like this might be controversial as well. I feel like Mamardashvili is going to take Alisson's spot in starting 11, kind of how Courtois did to Czech for Chelsea. So yeah, but yeah, Schlott's clearly a good manager. He knows what he's doing. I mean, did he even make any signings last season? Or Chiesa, that's it. So he clearly doesn't need to rely on them, but he's got good players in, so they're just going to get better, I think. The only thing is, with like, because I've seen Chelsea are interested in Konate. If they lose Konate, I feel like that would be a big loss in defence. Joe Gomez is good enough to cover for him, but I think who's going to cover for Joe Gomez at that point? They'll need to bring someone else in. But yeah, that's it. So let me know what you agree, what you disagree with, what you think is outrageous, what you think I've overlooked, what you think, whatever. And yeah, so I'm currently recording this about 3 hours before Liverpool Bournemouth game, so I've not seen any results yet. But yeah, so that's it. I'll see you next time.